Hi guys, and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to be looking at the second Grindelwald trailer, which was first shown at the recent Comic-Con. If you're interested in seeing my reaction to the first trailer, you can check it out in the description below. If I seem a bit puffy, it's just because I'm really excited, but also really nervous to be doing this video. I love Harry Potter and the Wizarding World, and I want to do it justice by doing a really good video. So let's take a look at the new trailer. I'm really excited and just so nervous now.
I'm scared, Professor Dumbledore.
Everyone is scared of something.
So it's Newton Dumbledore speaking again then.
Yes. You're up next.
Oh, we're seeing him teaching him.
That's an unusual one. What Mr. Scamander fears above everything else is...
Having to work in an office, sir.
Go ahead, Newt.
Ridiculous.
Ah, I wanted to see what it turned into.
Magic.
Oh, moving statues.
Only in rare souls.
Oh, we're seeing more of the carnival scene from the first trailer.
Skulk in shadows.
Is that like a prison or something? Oh, Azkaban. Must be for Azkaban, right?
Ways serve us no longer. I take it you've heard the rumours. Grindelwald had a vision that he would rise to dominance over the Wizarding World.
What are they?
How to get out of it? I can't move against Grindelwald. It has to be you. In your shoes, I'd probably refuse to. It's late. Leave me, Newt. Oh, come on. You underestimate your talents, Mr. Scamander. Elegance is a key to our victory. Muggles are not lesser.
Ooh, what are they doing there?
Not disposable.
That was like a lion ragdoll-like thing. Oh, okay, so he's actually driving it, not being in it this time. And he's got the other wand.
I think Dumbledore will mourn for you. Are you a ghost?
No, I'm alive. But I'm an alchemist and therefore immortal.
Oh,
Flamel?
It's close. Oh, you don't look a day over 375.
One of the first scenes that we come across in this trailer is Newt Scamander talking to Dumbledore and saying, "I'm scared, Professor." This piece of dialogue is actually taken from the third book and the third films of Harry Potter.
I'm scared, Professor.
Well, I'd consider you a fool if you weren't.
This is perhaps to show that Newt is as close to Dumbledore as Harry is to Professor Lupin. Another thing we got to see was Newt Scamander's boggart, which turned into a writing desk. What's interesting is that Dumbledore was actually teaching this lesson, and this lesson has previously been seen in Defense Against the Dark Arts. But Dumbledore's not supposed to be a dark arts teacher, he's supposed to be teaching Transfiguration. One theory which is floating about is that boggarts are masters of Transfiguration. They are the bee's knees of it. So it could still be a Transfiguration class, and boggarts could be there in order to study the transformation process. I'm not 100% sure about this theory because it seems a little bit far-fetched to me, but that is one of the ones which is going about. Personally, I feel it's more likely that Dumbledore is just covering that lesson, or that there's some sort of gap in the teaching staff and he's just filling that in. Next we see Tina with a moving statue. Now what's interesting here is that we don't see moving statues very much within the Wizarding World. We see moving paintings all the time, but not so much statues. Statues which move are usually seen when Harry was with the chess pieces in the first movie of Harry Potter, and also in the Battle of Hogwarts as well. There was the big guards which were moving. So in both of these examples, it's been all about the defence. It's always been about statues being enchanted to be protecting the person who put the enchantment on. So on the one hand, all the examples we've seen of statues, they've always been really defensive, really powerful things, which would suggest that Tina's in some sort of trouble. However, in this case, that doesn't look like that's how it is. So that leaves us kind of wondering, why is this statue enchanted? We also see a woman walking along with these black cat-like creatures with bright glowing eyes. Now from my research, it suggested that this woman is called Melusine, and also that these creatures are quite likely either Kneazles or Wampus cats. Wampus cats being creatures which hunt down witches and wizards and kill them. The woman who is helping Credence to train him and also who works in the circus, she's actually called Maledictus. Now, when I was looking up Maledictus, this actually refers to a witch or a wizard who has a kind of blood curse which causes them to eventually turn into a beast, a creature of some kind. We have examples of this because Draco Malfoy's wife in The Cursed Child was a Maledictus, and she did die because she turned into a beast eventually. There's a lot of debate on the internet as to whether Maledictus is Nagini or not, but that's certainly something which is in speculation at the moment. Dumbledore's greatest desire was Grindelwald, which we saw when he was looking into the Mirror of Erised. Grindelwald was the love of his life, and he's someone who Dumbledore is never going to be able to be with. And this is kind of similar to Snape's love for Lily, who he could never be with. And I wonder whether this perhaps is the tie and the bond between Albus Dumbledore and Severus Snape, since they both seem to trust each other so much, despite not really being very eye-to-eye characters. It's possible that the scene where we see Dumbledore looking into the Mirror of Erised is actually being seen through the pensieve by Newt Scamander, and this again would draw parallels to Severus Snape and how Harry Potter saw the memories of Severus Snape through the pensieve from gathering his tear. Again in this trailer we see Newt Scamander riding on the back of some sort of water creature, and that is in fact a Kelpie. A Kelpie is a creature that you can find on Pottermore, and it's basically some sort of sea horse which attracts people to want to ride on its back and then takes it deep underwater where they drown, and that is how dangerous a Kelpie can be. Within the trailer, Dumbledore states, "Muggles are not lesser."
Muggles are not lesser.
And we've actually got a quote from him being younger than that, saying Muggles are lesser. So this shows how his viewpoint has completely changed around from when he was very young and he was dating Grindelwald to now in the Fantastic Beasts films. We suspect that this creature is a fire fiend, and it's one of the only creatures which can destroy a Horcrux. During the Battle of Hogwarts, Crabbe actually releases one of these into the Room of Requirement, and it causes a lot of havoc. And even if Harry swung his broom to the right or left, it would follow him, because it is in fact creature, although it appears like flame. It wouldn't be Fantastic Beasts without the beasts, and the most prominent of these is the bear moth. So when I shouted out, "It's a lion-like ragdoll thing," what I was looking at was the bear moth. That was like a lion ragdoll-like thing. So we can see that it's got this great big swooshing tail and this really big sort of mane-like shaggy sort of fur all over it. And the word bear moth comes from like a mythology creature and is also in the Bible, but generally it means something very large and very powerful. In one of the last scenes, we see the Elder Wand in close-up, and we can only assume that it's Grindelwald who is holding this. At the end of the first Fantastic Beasts, Newt Scamander defeated Grindelwald. And the question is, did Grindelwald have the Elder Wand at this time, or did he manage to get it sometime between the space of the first movie and the second? In addition to this, If Newt did defeat him while he had possession of the Elder Wand, then surely he would no longer have the allegiance of the Elder Wand, and therefore the Elder Wand would actually belong to Newt Scamander at this point. It's just speculation at this point, but it sounds pretty cool. And finally, we have our guest star, Nicholas Flamel. So it's pretty exciting to finally see the legendary alchemist. He's somebody who we heard a lot about during the first Harry Potter film, and somebody who's been mentioned a few times in the books, and it's just generally a very cool character because he's lived so long, he must have known so many different wizards, have so many stories to tell. It's great to have him in the series, in the films, where we can see him and we can get some idea of who this character is. One of the coolest moments for me was seeing that Grindelwald had stolen the coach. So in the first trailer for Fantastic Beasts, we saw him inside the coach, we saw two wands being pointed at him, and it was like, okay, so he's been caught, he's not going anywhere. But now, in this trailer, we've seen him driving the coach, which means somehow he's managed to turn that whole situation completely around. I don't know about you, but I'm pretty excited to see how he's done that. In the past, a lot of people have questioned J.K. Rowling's choice in actors for different roles, and there was certainly some concern at Johnny Depp being cast for the role of Grindelwald. However, the more trailers I see with him in, the more screen time I've got of that, the more I'm starting to feel like, yeah, you know what, he's shaping up well, he might actually be able to do this character quite a bit of justice, as long as he doesn't start doing a pirate accent. And the most important thing of all, it is out in November. I can't wait, I'm going to be in there, in the cinema, I'm going to buy the big popcorn, the big drink, I'm going to go all out because it is going to be my event of the year, and it should be yours too. As a last note, I'd really love to hear all of your thoughts and all of your comments on what you thought of this trailer. Did you see anything else that surprised you, anything which you really like, anything that you're not sure about? And also, is this video any better than my last one, or not as good? I'd just love to know, it's great to have the feedback. Thank you very much for watching, I hope that you've enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the like button, and as always, thank you for watching.